so much nicer out now than it was. It was very, very hot before. It was like if the devil farted, if Satan farted in your face and you tried to breathe. That's what it was like. What's going on, guys? We are back with another episode of Cruising with Carmen, and we're going to try covering one of the topics that was suggested in my last video comments, which is the whole Hillary versus Trump thing. And at this point, I'm almost kind of over politics in general. I think it's become a circus, and I don't really think that it does. I don't really think it does what you want it to do. I think my issue with politics is that I feel like they don't get anything accomplished. And before everybody jumps on me for saying that, I was like, well, what do you mean they accomplished something? Well, you're right. I've never been a big fan of politics. I've never been really into government. Again, is that being an irresponsible adult? Is that not caring enough? Listen, it was just 4th of July. I consider myself very patriotic. I love the country I live in. I love the rights that I have. I love being able to do the things that I do. But I feel like so much of politics is bullshit. And it's almost gotten to the point where it's lost really what it should be about, which, in my opinion, is helping people. And I feel like so much it becomes almost more like watching like wrestling. You know, when this person's just yapping about this person and vice versa. It's like, what are you doing to benefit me? What are you doing to benefit our country? And the whole like Hillary and Trump thing, and I feel like that's just, I'm exhausted by it. And even, you know, I liked somebody suggested talking about it. I think it's good. I think it's it's relevant. Obviously, the presidential election's coming up, and you know, two candidates are pretty much those two. And you know, I personally, I don't really feel like I'd side with either of them. I'm kind of split when it comes to being Democratic or Republican. I see viewpoints from both sides. I think anybody with logic should. I think if you're hardcore anything, that's almost dangerous. I don't think being American should be considered, oh, you're 100% Democrat or 100% Republican. There's so much diversity in the world, and so much diversity within our nation, that I don't feel that one party represents any of that well. And I really can't get on board with either of them. And I mean, my whole life I kind of grew up like I never really was into politics, and as I'm getting older, I'm becoming more interested in them and how they affect me as an adult. But I always was confused by the people or the kids that are so strong on this person or so strong on that person. It's like, do you really understand what they represent or why they represent that? And a lot of people, you know, may get pissed and say, oh, well, men and women have died for your right to vote and for your right to choose a president. And I get that, and I respect that, and I don't want that to come off as unappreciative and of all the other, you know, men and women that have served for all of our rights and all the other things they serve for. But that doesn't mean that I have to vote for someone that I don't like. I don't think, also, if you're uneducated about who you're voting for, that you should just vote anyway because it's your right. I think that's the biggest cop-out. Well, voting's your right, so you you should just go vote. No, you should educate yourself on all parties, not just the one that you think you may like. Because I'm split about it. I think there should be equal rights. I'm okay with, I like guns. I'm okay with marriage equality and all that. And yeah, these are just surface, level things that I'm kind of just like very, okay, yeah, easiest things to pick at that you can pretty much talk about that says, okay, you're Republican or Democrat, but I don't think there's anything wrong with blurring those lines of being both. I think in order to have a successful country and a successful system, you kind of need a little bit of yin and yang and a little bit of balance. And I can't really speak. I don't want to get too political, but I really can't in my defense. I'm not a big government buff. I'm not into politics. I think we've had good and bad leaders that were both Republican and Democratic. So to say one party is better than the other is just retarded. I know a lot of people are getting on Hillary because of the whole email thing, and that's maybe her biggest flaw right now. And a lot of people are getting on Trump because of his racial slurs and all that. Here's the thing. I'm not by any means supporting Trump, but I don't know. He just says dumb shit. And you can't, I don't think the way he's portrayed is 100% accurate, but like nobody controls what comes out of your mouth. So if you say something dumb, it kind of falls on you. And same with Hillary. She's been called out for being wishy-washy, back and forth, changing her stance of what she believes in or who she supports. It's like, you know what? The media can paint whatever picture they want, but ultimately you're responsible for what comes out of your mouth, both Democratic and Republican. So if you say dumb stuff, no matter what side, it's going to come back to haunt you. Ironically, here's the Capitol we're heading towards. Just paved the road. It is so gorgeous out today. It is just beautiful out here. But I'm a big believer, I've always been a big believer, politics aside, on making a greater impact in the world, a better impact, a positive impact in the world. And I think that should be the point of a nation's leader, is just who is going to do more good. And people get so caught up in the he said, she said bullshit, like it doesn't matter. What is the point of being a human? What is the point of being an American citizen, or any citizen for that matter? It should be the betterment of everyone. It shouldn't be excluding certain ethnic groups. Shouldn't be lying to people. Shouldn't be afraid of change or continuing things. I think people that are in politics lose sight sometimes, or at least it comes off as that, and it sucks. And I don't think they lose. I think America loses, or any other nation loses. I'm gonna see who is calling me. It always sucks when you're riding and like your phone freaking rings. Oh, it's getting hot out here. I think the moral of the story is, though, for me, the concentration should be on uniting the people of the nation, protecting your nation, making your people feel safe, and that you have their best interests in mind. I mean, I could just run for president, I guess. It's getting hot in this mask. By mask, I mean helmet.